Beautiful day to you, brothers and sisters. Love unto you, and all that is of goodness and love. Now, as of today, we're always going to talk about goodness as always. So, welcome again to another video. As I always tell you guys, truth and nothing but the truth in the spirit and love. And do I mess up in life? Yes, I do. That does not mean that those mess ups are going to ever stop me from doing what my father wants me to do. All right. Now, we all need to be very wary of what we consider good and what we consider bad. So, the same way we're cautious, we have to be cautious even of the good because sometimes we don't know how bad good can be. Okay. So, today, what is the subject, or at least the topic for today? It says what? You'll miss out not being humble. All you do, with all you do, my apologies, you'll miss out not being humble with all you do if your spectrum is hate and manipulation. So, all this calculating, when you're calculating in the aspect of always wanting to be in the, ahead of others, which is good, but what is the aspect of what we're doing? Are we doing it for ourselves, selfishly, or are we doing for the glory of our Creator? That is the main purpose with that. Now, we're going to look into this situation right here because I personally, I went through some arguments today when it came to speaking to some people. I tend to sometimes go on live when I basically talk to random people. I have some brothers and sisters of mine in Christ that I talk to that I we show love to each other and stuff like that, and we just basically get to speak of the word of truth and of the word of our Creator and of life. Now, of course, today, like I normally do, I always give you guys contradictions, which is of the past and also the modern time. And today we're going to speak of what? Like normally, we're going to start off with what? Contradiction. And why is it important that we start off with contradiction? Well, it's because we get to self-reflect on exactly the roots of what we're reflect of what the problem and the cause is, right? To why there's so much of things that are in effect, right, in this modern time that causes corruption. So the first contradiction, because mind you, if you would like to grab your biblioteca, your buy and bow, right? I would really appreciate if you do. And if you don't, be my guest. You can still follow along. And of course, this is the translated version, so it's never really an issue. And we're gonna be in the Chronicles of Saints Matthews and chapter 25. And unfortunately, uh, for some reason, I don't always get the actual numbers put on these verses, but it's fine. We're gonna just do what we can for today because I'm not gonna make this video very long, but just suffice enough for you guys to understand the purpose and the narrative of today's lesson. Okay, so the subject for this verse, which I believe is in the early verses, which I'm not entirely sure what verse it is because I did not write the verse number down. But we're gonna look at the subject anyways. You guys are gonna figure it out if you read the entire chapter, and I would actually love for you guys to take on that challenge because why not? Okay. So let's read the first subject. And it says what? Look at yourself as everyone else. And why is it important to always reflect as yourself? Is because you can't point out somebody's boogers in their eye if you haven't taken yours out first. You can't. You feel me? It's like basically you're in discriminating other people or you're just being misogynistic towards others. You have to always what? Be nice, respectful, and be humble to other people because you don't know who you're speaking to. Somebody, I will, like, for example, a lot of people dismiss, for example, homeless people, right? But you never know the homeless person that you might talk to outside. They might be more knowledgeable in the in the aspect of experience in life, right? More than your therapist. You never know. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there to just any random homeless person and talking to them, but you just never know exactly what you might gain from people, from you just being humble, from you just reflecting the light of your creator through you. Because at the end of the day, you are the example. So you can't really point out anybody's imperfection if you have imperfection and flaws that you have to work through. You know, that's why when I talk, I don't talk about lies. I talk about truth, and I talk about things that are relative in the aspect and the level of where I can speak at. Because it would be immoral of me to talk to anybody any kind of way, because I personally don't feel like I'm better than anybody. I'm better than myself in the potential of what I can be. Does that make sense? But let's actually go through this and follow along if you can. I might be the flash today, so I might read a little bit faster than most. All right. And what does the scripture says? It says, just like strangers, is everyone welcomed or taken care of? And I believe this is Christ that's speaking, right? And it says, or was it in the pity that you came to our aid? For the Messiah will say, as long as you've done right before my fellow brethren, you've done right unto me. But those that denied, they will be rejected from him. So how you treat others, exactly how you're going to be treated. If you are a peaceful person, what do you think is going to happen? Peace will be upon you because Christ is in you, and it will reflect and it will show. Even if people are attacking you, just because somebody is shooting an arrow at you, that does not mean that you have to shoot an arrow back. That alone, you should not put yourself in the predicament to have an arrow being shot at you. But if it has to be the scenario for it to be, so shall it be. Because that is the will of our Creator. That is the will of our Elohim. It doesn't change anything, regardless at the end of the day, right? We have this thing that we call permissive will, where we choose to make choices that are not necessarily in the actual will or the glory of our Creator, because a lot of times we nitpick exactly what we want to tell people. And I noticed that a lot of times when we're talking to other people, we are always imposing. I don't like to impose, but I do. I'm a person. I do get triggered. I have emotions. I have a mind. So if you say something that doesn't make sense, which a lot of times there's some people that do, and there's some people that don't, I will I will love to correct you rather than try to make you feel like you don't know any better. But it doesn't help when somebody is actually trying to disrespect you. And I don't have to curse at somebody for me to let them know, hey, I don't appreciate you being, this and that and that and the third, because at the end of the day, we're trying to have a conversation and you're not. Because mind you, I don't, I hop on TikTok sometimes and I get on lives on a lot, on people's lives. And I just like talking about things that make sense and that is logical, even if there are illogical people in the world, but they consider themselves logical. I believe that the responsibility of us being Christians is being examples unto others in the sense of how Christ will like us to be and will love us to be and has made us to be through our Elohim's eyes. So we are the example. And if we don't walk in that righteous light, bro, like it makes it really hard for other people that are not Christian or believers, right, in general, to basically look at us and be like, hey, I should be more like this person, because this person is not, they're not evil, they're not doing anything that is bad. Then and they love people just like who I am. That means that if they're Christ that is loving and unconditionally loving, we should be able to show that type of love, too. We should be able to receive it as well. You get what I'm saying? So let's continue. What does the next verse say? It says, he will then say to them, when I was in need, you didn't even look in my direction to help me being a stranger, for you didn't clothe me, and when I was sick, let alone you didn't come to my imprisonment or trials. Wow. So that is a lot. that is a lot when it comes to just being loyal in general, because a lot of people are not being themselves. We have characters that people play. That's the same way when other people pray, they pray in a character. That's the reason. That's why when there are some issues where people are always disconnected to the spirit, is because they consider an aspect of themselves in a way that they should not be, because our creator doesn't want us to be somebody else. He wants us to be ourselves, because who else is he going to cleanse of their sins if it's not you? He's not going to look at somebody else and be like, hey, I'm going to cleanse of this character that you built like a Roblox or some type of what is it called, a Minecraft character. I'm not going to cleanse that person or whatever that attribute of a persona is. I'm going to cleanse who you are, all the sins that is tied to you. That is exactly what I'm going to cleanse. Because when we're praying, a lot of times we're fixated on the aspect of desires. So we're sticking to an ideal of an aspect of our perception of who we think we are rather than who we should be. So when we're praying, we have to be humble. When we're praying, we have to know exactly what we're asking when it comes to the actual will of our creator and not of our own, because a lot of people are materialistic. They only sometimes pray, right, when it comes to actually wanting to benefit rather than it being the actual will of our creator. They don't pray because they want to pray just so hey, let your will be your will, Father. No, they pray because they want something. And after they get something, they forget exactly who our creator is. They immediately forget. So that is a problematic thing right here, because at the end of the day, right, we should never really ask for things that we don't need. And that is the actual flesh itself speaking, because of how the system has been put in our mind to think idealistically on people's expectations that are unrealistic. That's why there's war and there are denominations and separations even amongst our own people, because we don't understand the unity of truth. A lot of people are separating because they're always being this person. They're always trying to have a better car. They're always trying to have a better house than other people. It's a competition. We can make money, but look how much money has destroyed people, because there are people that are willing to kill you, rob you for the sake of money. We can build everything without money. How what does it require for you to make a house? Isn't that called a skill and an ability? So you have the understanding of what masonry is, what and who and what an electrician is. You have those skills. But yet but yet people are buying all of these things, right? Mind you, you can pay and buy and own a house and still have to pay for the house that you own. Use your logic on that. We call that taxes. Does that make any sense? Do you think that our creator made us so that we can be living like that? Mind you, there are people that have millions and hundreds of millions to billions of dollars in this world, right? And they're always talking about kids in Africa. But whenever you see them go to Africa, they build a charity, they build a nonprofit. They don't personally help people out there personally. They really don't. Because how can you leave your own country to hold and help somebody else in their own country, and you don't stabilize what's going on in your own place? It doesn't make sense. You drive by in this Lamborghini, you don't even help the homeless people that you see across the street. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times we look at morality in a sense of what people think it should be because of these, advertised, seductive, propagandas and monopolies that are being played out here. That's really like doesn't make sense. It's outrageous. Like I keep giving you guys reminders on a consistent basis, right? These things are realistic because there are people that you will talk to that they have been taught from generation to generation where their mindset is stuck on this specific ideal of living. That is a Pharisee and a scribe mindset. These are the people that created this system, and people are following it like it's a religion. Like legitimately, people are following these systematic employs like a religion. Because why? They base their life on this. There are so many people. If there was no more technology, there was no more internet, people will literally lose their everlasting mind, because they cannot live without social media. They cannot live without all of these extra crazy things that they can compete with others, let alone they don't have the skill and the capacity to be able to understand the things that they should have understood from a very young age to survive. People can't even make fire out of sticks and stones. They have to think about going to buy a lighter. They don't know how to generate electricity, filter water, these simple things. Imagine there's a catastrophe that would happen and occur in this state right now, right? Where all of these technological advances will dissipate. What do you think will happen to the people? They're going to kill each other for what is remaining, because at the end of the day, right? People don't have skills. They don't know what skills, real skills are. They're more in tune with the actual reality of an actual competition and a lifestyle rather than realistic living. And this is the problem, because a lot of people are blind to these things and they cannot see past the actual real problems of the world. That's the reason why people don't even know this. If you wanted to Google who funds the actual FBI, the CIA, and all of these agencies and governings, right? Who do you think is going to pop up? Nobody, right? But when you look at the bank and who owns the banks, who do you think are managing those banks? Is it not those same governings, right? Hierarchies, patriarchies, monarchies, right? Those people that are funding the banks so that the CIA, the FBI can even exist. Who do you think, if it's not rich people that already have money? Like realistically, a lot of people are not thinking about stuff like that, right? But let's look into the next verse. And the subject for this one says guilty mindsets is always defensive. So a lot of people that feel guilty, they're always defending something. They're always trying to prove something if they already know that they're right. So why are you proving something that you know you're right? It's one thing having fun, just messing around and being a troll just because you are able to actually do that. But it's another thing when you have a guilty mindset, because when you have a guilty mindset, what does that mean? You've done something wrong. That you're literally thinking on a reprobative mindset because it's coming back to your memory of what you've done. That means that you've done something wrong. So when you get an unsettling feeling, right, within your soul, your spirit, your heart, right? That's because a lot of times you know you've done something wrong. I don't have to tell you you've done something wrong. If you start sweating for no reason, and it's not hot outside, and it's not like Celsius hot, like not even in the 90s, and you're sweating, I can't be around you, because you did something that you know for a fact you had no business doing. See, I'm the type of person, I observe people. I listen very carefully to how people talk to me. Like if somebody don't rock with me, I don't have to tell them that I know that they don't rock with me, right? I can literally mind my business and be cool with them and still keep things on the way that I am. I'm a very loving person, and I'm also a very I'm not naive, but I have an innocent like type of mindset where I don't even, when it comes to females, I don't even pursue these type of aspects of trying to pursue a woman. I keep myself in my own lane, fam. Like I used to be outside all the time. People forget that I used to be outside. I used to go out there party, get man, what? I keep myself to myself because I know what the world is and how people are. A lot of people, they don't really know who Christ is, and they speak of Christ, they don't know. I met a lot of drunkies, a lot of people that get high off of dope, off of straight crack, heroin, straight everything. I used to sell myself, and that's something that people gotta understand. Like, bro, I'm in Baltimore. Just because I grew up a certain way doesn't mean that I didn't grow up around these environments. Like, literally, this is why I share my life with people, and I don't play no games about the truth. I don't play no games about who I am. Some people, they hear my voice, they're like, "Oh my goodness, he seemed like a really like he seemed like a green light, like he's a stupid crash dummy, a doll or something. Like, bro, no, I know way more than what you think. Like, realistically talking, like, I've been outside. I used to serve outside. For a lot of the people, I'm not gonna call myself a drug dealer or nothing like that. I used to serve outside. I know people that I don't even talk to no more because we're not in alignment when it comes to actual truth, when it comes to helping people, because those things that are outside, that's what's killing people. And people are closing, they're turning their eyesight on the things that's happening out there. And I don't joke about that, because at the end of the day, I was given life the same way. If I was given a vision or a prophecy, right? Because I've given you guys, I've told you guys a lot of the things that I've had dreams about, and most of every, if not all of it, most if not all of it, came true. I gave you guys things that I was revealed about, like, literally. And most of those things came true. So, to basically tell you guys what, it's very important that we do not disclose things that are not, like I said, disclose. We don't need to make things that are not important in our life, because that's what's literally killing people. At the end of the day, us watching the BET Awards, all of this stuff, we're literally funding people that don't care about us, that own jails, that are locking our own peoples up because of a system that they built. The same way the doctors in the hospital, they literally will give you a drug that can harm you, but then also heal you so you can come back. See, a lot of people don't know what business is. Somebody can give you a just like what is it called? Just like an iPhone, right? I'm gonna give you an example. Just like an iPhone, right? When it comes to Apple, the Apple Incorporation, right? Or their business, they make the phones, the LCD screen so not invincible. That much I would say. They make the LCD screen so not invincible that you drop it one time, you're gonna have to go to the store and spend your money on Apple again. Bro, it's literally an inconvenient situation for you being a customer. It's a fix, bro. They're literally giving you a fix so you can come back again. The same thing with Apple, right? They give you the same programmings, the same softwares, and just updating the cameras. They're updating the screen. They're updating sometimes the buttons, the volume buttons, the power button, the no button. Bro, it's literally the same thing. I am literally an engineer, right? I have been a technician as well. I am a chemist. I am all of these things that I have actual skills at, where if I were to break something, if I want to fix it, I can fix it. If I don't want to fix it, I can choose not to fix it. I have a 3D printer. It won't take me years to make something if I really want to. So people got to understand, this is what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to the exact item, the exact aspect of our understanding, we are literally working for people that are making money over us, over a 9 to 5, right? You can't have your own business unless you pay taxes for that business, which is not really convenient for you, because at the end of the day, most of the money that goes out in taxes, right, does not build any parks. All those things go to charity, nonprofits, and majority of those nonprofits and charity don't help people, because why would literally, bro, I don't know if you guys do enough research. I take notes when I do research. I legit take notes, and so much to a point where, like, even if I don't remember something by memory where I can speak on it, I will literally go back to my notes from chapter 1 all the way to 2000. Like, it's never been that, it's always been that serious to me since since the day that I chose to take this journey. It's been that serious to me. Like, I don't even play about Christ to a point where, like, I take my time to learn about science, because I've always been a geek, low key, even in high school. Like, people, I wasn't a cool person in high school, but I wasn't a person where like I'm gonna be the first person you're gonna look at as fresh meat or something. No, because I got hands. Like, bro, people would try me, but I got hands. Nobody disrespected me in a sense where they didn't know who I was in high school. Even after high school. Look at you guys hear my voice, right? People try to play with me. They didn't even understand why I was so smart. Is because I was never really into the things that they was in. People went and go party every day. I didn't go and party every day, but I went and I still party, but I didn't party every day. I minded my business and I was doing my own thing. I used to, I used to, when I was just telling you guys about drugs, I used to sell in my own jobs, like literally. I used to serve in my own jobs. I'm talking Dunkin' Donuts, all of them. Like I would be in the store serving straight out the window, all of that. Like it's not even a joke. You guys might think that I be joking about this stuff when I tell you guys this stuff in these videos. I don't lie about nothing. Like I used to be really a whole problem out here, bro. Like it's one thing when you're dealing with somebody, right? And this is not me saying that. This is not me saying much for real. But because like I just dove back in my past and stuff like that. But dealing with somebody that has a gun versus dealing with somebody that can basically disintegrate you, there's a whole different aspect of fear in that. And it's not even a joke. And this is the reason why I had to start changing my mindset, because there were people out here that could have been unalived. And I'm not gonna stand on here and be like lying to any of you guys. I used to be outside. Like real talk, I used to be outside, and it's not even a joke at all. And it's not even a joke, not one bit. And I tell people these things. That's the reason why I watch out for the little kids. I always have their back. I don't play about little kids. I don't play about their life. I don't play about none of this, because at the end of the day, the things that I used to do, I don't want to see none of these kids sagging their pants, talking like this and that and that and the third, thinking that having a toting a gun is good, having a stick by your side by your hip is good, and all of this. Like, fam, no, that's not cool. You cool being a murderer? Like people might have called me lame because like people literally started to act like I was a lame person because I stopped doing the things that they was doing. Like fam, it's not even a joke. Like it's not even a joke. It's not even a joke. It's not even a joke. People used to really act like I was lame because I stopped doing the things that they were doing. Because if I see somebody about to get into a fight, I stop the fight before it gets any worse. If I see somebody, about to get arrested, I literally jump in that situation. I try to talk to the police down, to kind of calm down, because I know my rights. So I'm going to advocate for the person that's about to get arrested so that they don't get arrested. There's some people that are very arrogant and very ignorant. I would testify this because I literally, like, I would not, anything that I say to you guys, I would not lie to you about it, not one bit. I don't consider myself a liar, and I would not lie to you guys about helping you in any way or form or matter. That's the reason why I can speak the truth, and I can say it with the deepest part of my heart without even trying to stutter, without saying nothing terrible, without feeling bad about it. I would not lie to you guys, not one bit. I don't like liars. I don't like lies. I don't like, even if it's a little white lie, I don't like it. If you don't speak the truth to me, I will not trust you, because at the end of the day, that's what it comes to. That's what it comes to. I don't even play no games with that. Like I used to be the person where I did not care. I would curse. I would say all of this stuff. I would smoke marijuana back to back. I used to smoke like 12 blunts a day, fam. 12. Not one, not two, three spliffs. I used to smoke like 12 of them Johns a day. 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I used to smoke them Johns every day. Bro, that's a whole turn event for me, bro. Like, it's not even a joke for me because a lot of these kids are suffering because they don't have actual good examples. And when there are good examples, they get shot, they get put down, they don't get enough views on whatever platform that they get to speak the truth, to express themselves the way that they should. They either got to be a rapper, they got to be a singer, they got to be some type of artist for them to get some type of rap. Like, bro, that's old news. I don't want that type of fame. Even if I would, man, I've had an executive from Death's Row come to my school and tell me that they could have basically got me to be a part of their corporation. I was a whole, what's that? Back in my high school time, I was a whole different breed. I could have been a whole bro. I could have been making money and millions of dollars by now, fam. Cause I got songs that have a whole bunch of cursing in it that I could have really released, but I don't even release these things. I don't let people hear this stuff. I literally made a poem, right? And then turn it into a rap because that's how I felt. That's how I felt. I felt like people needed to hear it. And it goes like, if it be you, don't pick the life that you ain't never wanted. Neither pleasure or lust from the applause of those compensated. And apple brought from the tree, knowing things are complicated, but drowning in acid, but knowing, you'll say, but drowning in acid, but knowing what's intoxication. A lot of people are good from their heart. They start off really, really, really virtuous and alive. And then all of this acidic, toxic stuff come along their path, and they start turning into these toxic things. They start rotting away because they're not taught any better, because they're not given good examples. What's that? What's that? What is that? Example. An apple don't fall too. I think it's that seed don't fall too far from the tree, or something like that. An apple don't fall too far from the tree, something like that. When you're corrupted, you're corrupted. That don't mean you can't change. It's just that there's gonna need a new cycle of your entire being for it to exist. Like real talk. But let's get back into the world. To the word. It says in the script, it says, know that they'll try to lie and comply to their claims, wondering if they truly saw him and helped, instead of contradicting his narrative. The Messiah would then say, you didn't feed me or my family, all of them, and their actions will be accounted to eternal destruction, for they'll be punished, but the righteous will have eternal life. A lot of people are gonna feel compelled to start asking questions. Oh, did I help this person? Did I help you? Oh, I think I spoke to you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They're gonna try to gaslight you. Like, bro, I got into a point where I know when somebody's lying to me. I don't have to tell you they're lying to me. If that's what you like to do to me in front of my face, I will literally be like, all right, that's cool. I'll go to minding my business. I don't have to sit around and listen to your lies. I don't have to. I really don't. Because at the end of the day, me telling you that you're a liar will make me a judge. And I'm not, that's not what I'm brought in this world to do. I'm brought to teach. I'm brought to be an example. Christ is it's his job to judge, to convict. I'm not here to convict or to judge anybody. I could correct somebody, but judging, that's not my job. I can make a judgment upon what I choose to for me to interact or allow, but that's not my judgment to make anybody less than what they are. If that's how people feel, my job is to encourage and uplift others, and it's to not bring nobody down. If you like, for example, when people talking about this gay movement and all of this stuff, I love the people. I don't love the things they do. That's a difference. So that's what people are mixing up when it comes to my statements. That's why when I speak, I don't like to tell people, oh yeah, 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 no, no. I'm the type of person, I will still hug you, bro, because I got so much love for you. I used to be in bad situations. I used to be outside, fam. Like, man, it's just, oh my goodness. Whew. It's just so much stuff out here, like people don't understand. When you really don't know how, like, not only that, I come from a African background. So when people don't know what is real for real, they don't know how to approach you. They don't know how to talk to you. When people think that you're stupid and then you really start giving them drops of gems, you start dropping them gems for real, they don't know what it is. They don't know what it feels like. They don't know what is and not. Like I'm not smarter than anybody. I know what I know. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I'm not smarter than anybody, but I know what I know. And a lot of what I know is based off the same things that these people that are philosophers or somewhat indoctrinated scholars, right, know. So if they cannot support their own theories, that means that their claim is inconclusive. That means it doesn't have any logic. So I don't no longer have to debate with them, because at the end of the day, you basically denied exactly what you actually validate. Psychology is really important when it comes to understanding, when it comes to having these understandings. Because, like, look, a lot of people like to study one aspect of their life. I look at everything. I'm a very cautious person, but being cautious don't mean that you can't be kind, you can't be loving. It just means that you're always watchful, you're always protecting yourself, and nobody's going to give you no reasons to put your shield down, or put your armor down, or put your sword down. Just because I don't gotta shoot an arrow at you don't mean that I can't watch you. I'm watching you. I just don't gotta watch you every 10 seconds, because you're like, people don't know the difference between having an enemy and an adversary. I don't consider people my adversary. And if I don't consider you my adversary, that means that you're not really a problem for me. You're not even at the level for me to worry about you, for me to be thinking that I have to be concerned about how you're attacking me and how you're going to attack me. I know that I have the spirit of my creator in me. So I don't concern myself with the things that are below me, because negative energy is below me. Demons are below me. I was given that authority for my birth. That is my birthright. We're all born as spirit into the man and women. Don't get me wrong, ladies. Please don't go out here trying to persecute me. I'm not here to do that to anybody. But, like, I'm just saying, man and woman, we're given a spirit. We're born through spirit and given this body. So it's our birthright to understand and know exactly the level of what authority that we have. That is the reason why, when it comes to these things, when you're talking, I got to a point where I could speak to somebody and I know exactly that I'm talking to a devil or not. It's just that I don't have to really make it obvious. I don't have to make it obvious. I've gotten into conversations and people literally started manifesting attributes of demonic possession. I've dealt with it in my own family. I've dealt with it with friends. I dealt with it with strangers. I'll give you guys an example. I was outside, like, I believe, like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I was around some of my friends, and a homeless lady came up to me. She was either on drugs, right? Because that was one aspect you could look at it from. But the aspect that I started seeing it as is the way that she started talking. She didn't come to nobody else but me. There were a whole bunch of people she could have walked up to. She came straight to me. And I knew it was a demon. And I straight said, "Ma'am, can I pray for you?" All of my friends, mind you, we were smoking weed and all of that. So I was the only person that was still like spiritually conscious of this situation. And I straight prayed for her. I asked her, "Ma'am, just for the sake of this situation, can I pray for you?" Out of all the drunkenness type of talking that she was doing, she said yes. And after I prayed for her, everything started calming down. It started calming down. And this is how I started realizing that, yo, maybe there is a calling in this aspect of my life where I need to be in this journey, because I started off stopping to do half of the things that I used to do. I started stopping it little by little. It's like I started losing interest in all of the aspect of what was not really important in my life. I started losing interest in all of those things. And more I started climbing into Christ. This is how this started. Little things. It's never the biggest things in the world. The little things I value the most because at the end of the day, that's what means the most to me. Because those are the experiences that really help me understand that I am loved, that I have somebody that's actually watching me, listening to me every time when I cry, every time when I'm happy, every time when I'm victorious, when I'm triumphant in anything that I do. Because like fam, there's no better feeling to know that there's somebody that supports you through all the things that you do. Like literally, there's some moments when I know that people are attacking me, rather than me attacking me because it hurts me to actually love these people, right? I cry because it hurts that they would even try to think about hurting me. It hurts. But that's exactly what love means. That means when you love, you have to love unconditionally, even through when people hurt you. Because at the end of the day, you want the best for them. You don't want them to die. You don't want them to lose themselves in the aspect of what they are. But let's go on to the inspiration. Of course, this one is not numbered. Um, the subject for this says what? Be prepared now, for the time of the end will be upon us. And the verse says, it says, so I say unto you, be vigilant, for you all know not the time when the Messiah shall return. For the kingdom of heavens is like unto a man that travels from a far distance to call his servants to deliver the best unto him. This ruler unto his 3 servants gave them money that met their expected abilities in the exchange for trust before heading back from his ventures. We are expected to meet our creators. Well, we are conditioned to meet our creators expectations. The example already has been set. It's like going to class. It doesn't matter what is, if it's trigonometry, geometry, algebra, calculus, whatever that you want to call it, right? um we are already conditioned to meet his expectations because he gave us examples. It can be arithmetic as well. It can be arithmetics, whatever that people like. I love mathematics, even though I know that it's a concept that was made in the aspect of understanding between mankind, right? I love mathematics because a lot of people don't even know where mathematics really came from, right? But we have to understand something. What does that mean? That means that what? We already know what's good. We already know what we're supposed to do. Going preaching to people doesn't mean that you have to go out here and be like, you're going to hell. If you there are, you know how many people don't know about Christ? They don't even know the good about Christ. So when you're literally telling people they're going to hell, all you're doing is bringing fear in them without the actual understanding. So when people are lacking understanding and they're lacking love and patience, they don't have the ability to trust. That's the thing. The same way when we have banks, right? And the bank want us to trust them with our money, right? What do? They build a relation. They give us notifications. They give us all these aspects for us to trust them so that we can give them our money. They gaslight us sometimes too. They're like, oh, we can give you this percentage anytime you spend your money. This will be credited back to you on this percentile. Do you understand that these things are really important? I always talk about the modern time. I don't always talk about the word just as the word as it is. I always relevate the word from now as far as what is needed in the current moment for what how people behave and what is known in this exact era into the old times. That's what I use the word for, so people can get the knowledge and understanding this actual aspect of morality. Because a lot of people don't know what love is. If people fail to understand the actual meaning of true love, let alone the ability to love yourself and love your creator, you cannot learn anything else. Because how are you going to be able? You gotta have love to want to learn. You gotta have love for you to be patient. You have to have love for you to want to understand. So without it, it's like saying that you have passion. Passion and love is still one and the same. We just call it a different name because it has a different attribute based on exactly what we're attributing it to. Love is the foundation of everything that we do. It is our emotion, it's our way of thinking, it's our way of living. So when we do not understand true love, it makes it really hard for us to compute and for us to move forward. That's why teachings are always misunderstood because everybody has a different perspective of what love is. Teach people the foundation of love. Give them words of encouragement. If you are talking to somebody that does not want to believe in Christ, encourage them of love. And if you happen to be a good example, they're going to question you of Christ within you. That's exactly what usually happens when I talk to people. People question me of who is Christ because they know that I am an actual Christian without me calling myself a Christian. I'm not defensive. I just don't like when people speak about rubbish because I don't tolerate rubbish. But let's continue though. What does the subject for another inspiration say? Because I don't have that much time left. It says, look at yourself as everyone else. And the verse says, just like strangers, is everyone welcomed or taken care of? Or was it in pity that you came to our aid? For the Messiah would say, as long as you I already read this, didn't I? Yes, I did. I already read this. All right. That was all for real as far as the I could have given you guys another inspiration. But hey, the moral of today's story is what? Be loving. Be the actual mirror. Do you guys know what the word mirror effect means? That means you're reflecting or refracting the actual image of something. So you are the actual progenitor, or you could say the sub progenitor, or you could be a sub character, right? The sub progenitor, right, of a situation, right? That's being an example that's being projected towards everyone, where people are questioning you of who you are. If people are questioning you of who you are, that means you're doing something. Even when people make fun of you, I've had people make fun of me, and I did not care not one bit about what they said because when I talk to people, people will never disagree on what I say. Even if they disagree with what I say, at the end of the day, they will not say that what I'm saying is wrong. Because there's a difference between having logic and having sound meaning. When something is sound, that means that it cannot be what? It cannot be untruthful. When something is sound, it's like you can't nitpick exactly what you want. It's either the whole truth, which is 100%, or it's straight a lie. So even 99.99% of a lie, right? Of a truth, I said a lie. 99.99% of a truth is still considered a lie. I don't care what anybody say, however they say 99.99% of the truth is still considered a lie. So be truthful to yourself and be loyal. Be faithful unto Christ. More love to you, much more favor unto you, abundance, and more of that reassurance in your life. Praises to the Most High, our Elohim, our Adonai. Love you guys. Take care and kiss onto you. And if you don't like my kiss, I don't care. You better take this kiss and put it in your pocket. All right, carry it with you. All right, much love to you. Take care.